We are here in Dickinson County in the Iowa District Court in State versus Stephen Allen Lusart in STA 0061474. Representing the state is Assistant County Attorney Kevin Mott, and the defendant is personally present representing himself. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may go forward.
I did bring my computer. We can't get it hooked up to watch the evidence. The prosecution does have the evidence. Would it not be, the prosecutors are required to disclose any exemplary evidence. If he has it and can play it, wouldn't it be wrong for the courts to not have it?
Your Honor, the issue is Mr. Lusart wants to, or Lusart, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to mispronounce your name, wants to present a video of the trooper's dash cam. I provided that to him, and he can't get his computer to work today, and I told him I'm not interested in presenting it as the state's case in chief. So I guess that's what Mr. Lusart's talking about.
My computer works fine. It's not connecting there. If you want to watch it on my computer, I was just saying he's got the same thing on his computer and it will play it there. But it is important evidence.
The state has a duty to provide the evidence to you, but they don't have a duty to show the evidence that you want to present.
Well, then do you have to watch it on my computer if the states won't connect to my computer when we get to that point? I'm not trying to be unreasonable. It would just be so much simpler if he just played it on his when it's connected to the... I've got what I want to show you, but it won't read on that screen.
So, but it'll play on your computer?
Yes. I've never seen a judge come over to my computer. We can stand around my computer and watch it. That's fine with me.
Do you have any objection to watching it on his computer, Mr. Mon?
No, Your Honor.
That's fine.
What would be the objection to just playing it on that? Is there a reason we don't want to do it? I'm happy playing it on my computer. I just wondering why we're making it difficult when we could easily play it.
It's not the state's evidence, so we'll watch it on your computer.
Okay, I'll move the computer back so it's free, I guess.
Your Honor, would you lock it closer up to the bench instead of leaving the bench?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
That might be for the best when it's time for that.
Yes.
Mr. Mon, you may proceed.
Okay. State would call Karen Yenna.
Do you solemnly swear to or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You can be seated.
Okay. Would you please state your name for the record?
Karen Yenna.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. What's your occupation?
I'm a state trooper for the Iowa Department of Public Safety.
And how long have you been a state trooper?
A little over 24 years.
And where are you based out of?
The Cherokee District Office.
Okay. And are you a certified peace officer?
Yes.
And did you attend the academy?
Through our Department of Public Safety Academy, yes.
And do you remember when you graduated?
It was in 2001, July 13th, 2001.
And since that time, have you had any continuing training on being an officer?
Oh, yes. Through my career, I'm a drug recognition expert. I'm also an instructor for that. OWI, field sobriety test instructor, crisis negotiator, field training officer, motor vehicle law. I teach at our DPS Academy for the OWI and also motor vehicle law. Part of the honor guard. I've done quite a few things.
Trooper, were you on duty on July 21st of this year?
Yes.
And can you tell me where you were at that day?
It was during the RAGBRAI event, and so I was providing traffic control during that time, just east of Superior.
Okay. And was that here in Dickinson County?
Yes.
Now, your duties directing traffic for RAGBRAI, was that a special assignment or?
Yes, all public resource officers that are assigned, we pretty much follow the RAGBRAI event across the state. We provide traffic control for them.
That's why you were in Dickinson County as opposed to where you're normally based at?
Yes. Excuse me, yes.
Okay. And do you remember where you were at approximately 1:47 p.m. on the 21st of July?
Yes, I was at just east of Superior. I believe it was Highway 9 and it was 150th Street.
And at that point, did you have occasion to come in contact with Stephen Lusert?
Yes.
And what brought your attention to Mr. Lusert?
So the way that the intersection was just east of town there, we had vehicles traveling east and westbound on Highway 9, and the RAGBRAI route was directed, well, there's a gravel road on the south end, and then there was the bikes would veer off just kind of like to the northeast. They were going to go over the railroad tracks. And we were in that intersection directing traffic. And the safest route at that time was bicycles were going on either side of the eastbound traffic. So we would stop the bikes like along the fog line, the shoulder area on the south side of the highway. And then we would let traffic go. And then once we kind of get a break, then we would stop the vehicle traffic. And then that would allow the bicycles to cut across the intersection to continue on for their route. So we were directing traffic and providing traffic control during that time.
Is it fair to say that's kind of a bottleneck area?
Yes.
And what then drew your attention to Mr. Lusart, or what did you observe?
So during that intersection, during that time, obviously that was the main route for the RAGBRAI. And anytime that you have the support vehicles, meaning like any teams or anybody that's part of the RAGBRAI route, they are supposed to be off that route. They have a support route that they are supposed to be on. So Mr. Lusart's, he was operating that bus, and he was on the main route during that time.
Okay. So when you observed this bus, what direction was it traveling?
It was traveling eastbound on Highway 9.
And what, if anything, drew your attention to the bus?
It was on the main route, the main bicycle route, and the bus was not supposed to be there. So I had made eye contact with him and pointed towards him, pretty much letting him know that I wanted to speak to him. Once we came close, she would not contact us. There was a small, like, little sedan car in front of him, and I had pointed up, to make contact with him like I wanted to speak to him. And obviously the person in front thought I was pointing to her because it was just a young gal. And I pointed higher towards Mr. Lusart, and then as he was approaching me, I had directed him to the gravel road just to the south. And I wanted him to pull along the side there and talk with him at that time.
So you directed him a certain direction?
Correct.
And did Mr. Lusart pull off at that point?
Yeah, so he was in the process. So when I made contact and directed him to the south of the intersection of that gravel road, he was actually motioning like he was pulling, over on that side. and then I was finishing directing traffic, and then as I was looking back, then he had continued eastbound on Highway 9.
What did you do at that point?
Then I ran/walked quickly to my pickup truck, and then left on towards Highway 9 to catch up to the bus.
Okay. And the pickup truck, that's your patrol vehicle?
Yes, sorry.
And did you turn on your emergency lights and flashers?
I activated all my emergency lights when I approached and was directly behind the bus.
And did the bus pull over?
Yes.
And what happened after that?
Then I approached on the passenger side of the bus, obviously type of deal. Pretty much I will have to admit that I started yelling at him because I was not very happy that he had continued on the route when he was supposed to stop so I could talk to him. So I began yelling at him, and I don't remember exactly my words that I had said to him. And then I know during the time that things had kind of slowed down, and I asked him if he wanted to have us calm down and have an adult conversation. And so then we kind of rehashed everything again in a calm manner. And then I asked for his information, and then he was making contact with the owner of the bus because I think he couldn't find his insurance card at that time. And so he was trying to find paperwork, and then we proceeded with the rest of the traffic stop.
And based upon your conversation with him, did he make any admissions or did he say anything about the traffic stop or what he was intending to do?
I don't remember exactly, but I know that he was saying that he was coming from the Indian Motorcycle Museum, and that is the way that the GPS had taken him to that route, to where he made contact with me, or I made contact with him that day. He didn't realize that I was actually pointing to him. But at the same time, I was trying to explain to him that I actually pointed directly to him. They made eye contact with him. I know that he made a smart comment. I can't remember exactly what the words are, so I really don't want to commit to one thing. And then he was pretty much proceeding, saying that that was not a safe location to stop. And I was telling him when we direct people to direct traffic, or if I stop anybody, we are taking all into the effect of the environment, the location, everything that was going on. And all I wanted to do was literally just have him pull off just to the entrance of the gravel road there to the south, talk to him that he was not supposed to be there, and either have the option of either turning around to head back into Superior to find a different route or turn south on the gravel. So we were in the communication of me trying to explain to him why I wanted to stop him right there.
And did the bus have RAGBRAI support credentials or something of that nature in it?
Their team had they were issued like a RAGBRAI sticker that they put on their windshield. So anytime a team or a specific person wants to, let's just say, pay for the benefits that the RAGBRAI they offer, that'd be like going to support routes, the support town meetings, and then some other privileges that they may have. And they were able to they had that sticker on their windshield.
Based upon the information that you gathered at the stop, did you issue any citations?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
That was failure to comply to an order of a peace officer.
Okay. Were there any other citations that you issued to Mr. Lissert?
No.
No further questions.
Mr. Lissert, it's your opportunity to cross-examine the witness now.
And will I only have one opportunity, or will we be able to question again when we watch the video? And I have some information for you. Can I bring that up to you?
Hold on.
That's
Are these exhibits?
yeah. So
Have they been e-filed into EDMS?
Nope.
Have you given a copy to the state?
I have not seen them, Your Honor. I'm not sure that now's the proper time for them to be offered unless he's planning on using them for the
I
cross-examination.
should literally just read it, but I figured this was beneficial for everybody to have a copy.
They're not marked. The exhibits need to be marked.
What's that?
The exhibits aren't marked with exhibit numbers or anything. I can't accept these exhibits how they are right now.
Okay. Sabrina, so exactly what did I do wrong at the intersection? Were vehicles not allowed to go there? Was I on the bike path, or was I with the general flow of traffic?
Is it okay to continue to answer these questions?
Yes.
Okay. Can you repeat the question, please?
What did I actually do wrong? I was going with the flow of traffic, the regular traffic. I was not on the bicycle route. I was with the vehicles.
Your Honor,
where the
I
vehicles
object. Mr. Lussart appears to be testifying here, and he's not giving the witness an opportunity to answer the question.
You need just to ask questions. You can't testify. You just need
I
to ask
testify
questions.
later.
Yes.
Okay. And then can I ask questions after I testify also? Or are all questions answered now? Are all my questions answered now?
Now is the time to ask your questions.
Okay. Where were you standing in the intersection? We all agree the intersection was a Y-shaped. Bicycles, from my point of view, went to the left. Vehicles went to the right. You agree with that, correct?
Well, they continued eastbound on Highway 9.
Right. So where were you standing directing traffic?
I was probably either just in the middle or probably just west of just where that intersection was. Because there was times that I would have to walk to the west to make sure cars were stopped and then tell them where I wanted them to stop.
Okay. So more than likely in our situation, you were between the bikes and the vehicles, correct?
No, because I was in the part, well, it depends, because the situation was if I had stopped the vehicles that were traveling eastbound and they're coming from the west, I would get in front of the vehicles to motion them to stop. And then there was times that I would have to stop the bicycles at that location also to motion them where I needed them to stop too. So there was times that either I was talking to the drivers of the vehicles, pretty much small talk, saying, hey, appreciate your patience, thank you for stopping. And then I would talk to the bicycle people, the riders there too, asking them for their patience, thank you, as we're letting the cars go by. So it was a combination of a lot of things that were going on that day.
There was a lot going on, I agree. My question is, where were you standing? Because you just stated that you were stopping all vehicles. When I rolled into the intersection, I agree with you. We made eye contact. And when I got next to you, I went to open my window and you screamed, go, go, go. So I followed traffic. Yeah, that's exactly what you did.
Mr. Lussart, it's your time to ask questions.
Well, I'm saying it is important where she was standing, because if she told me to turn left rather than stay to the left, I would like to know what the difference in that direction is, because I did exactly what the other vehicles were doing, which was stay to the left. The bicycles went to the right, the vehicles stayed to the left. So what would be the traffic direction difference that she gave me rather than the car in front of me, because we all went straight on the left-hand side? I don't see what the difference in instructions were. Stay to the left, turn to the left. Is my point. Where was she standing? She wasn't standing straight in front of my bus saying...
Your Honor, I gotta object again. He's continuing to testify. If he's got questions for the witness,
Okay. I'd
ask that he ask the questions of the witness without testifying.
I asked where she was in the intersection, and she said she was all over the intersection, so I still haven't got that answer. Where were you when I approached the intersection, please?
When I saw you on the bicycle rag ride route, There's obviously some natural vehicles, people that actually lived in that area that were traveling on Highway 9. You as a team bus are not allowed to be on the bicycle route. So when I saw you, I motioned to you to pull over to the south, which would be to your right. I motioned for you to go. I did not say go, go, go. If you heard me say go, that's because everybody was slowing down because I was directing you to pull over to the gravel to your right. And then I was motioning for the other vehicles to continue going.
So where were you standing when I rolled up on the intersection? Were you in the lane of traffic, or were you between the bicycles and buses?
No, I was probably right in the middle of both lanes.
Right in the middle of both lanes would be between the bicycles and the traffic, correct?
No, because the bicycles were stopped along the fog line, which would be on your right side of the bus, on the south side of you.
And did you have your body cam activated to show that situation?
I did not have my body camera on, no.
Is it, or is it not highway patrol policy to have your body cam on?
It is a policy to have that on, yes. And during the event of this whole situation, we are actually working very long hours, could be anywhere from 12 to 15, 16 hours. So the camera and the battery does not last that long. So having that on, we just didn't wear them during that time.
So you filed a report with your supervisor stating that the equipment did not work?
Objection, irrelevant.
It is relevant if her camera didn't work.
I didn't say it didn't work. I just said that for a long period of time, the batteries last for only a certain amount of time.
We are required to have it on when you interact with people, correct?
Correct.
So you've failed policy, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. I still don't see that this is relevant.
How could it not be?
It's been asked and answered. Move on.
Who trained you on your body cam equipment?
Oh boy. We had to go to Des Moines to receive the training, and I believe it was Sergeant Christians and Sergeant Barker.
So they were in fact law enforcement officers?
They are state troopers, yes.
Yes. So you violating the policy, you actually did commit the exact crime you accused me of. You failed to obey a police officer, correct?
Which officer did I fail to comply?
Whoever trained you to run your body cam when you interact with the public.
They are just instructors of how to issue it for the department-wide.
And you're instructed to use it all the time, correct?
Correct.
And you did not.
Not that day.
So you failed to obey a police officer, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. It calls for a conclusion or speculation.
Sustained.
Facts.
Sustained. Move on.
Well, we're looking for credibility on my part, credibility on the officer. I think that's a very strong credibility. It's going to be very hard for me to prove I'm an honest person. I just have to work on what the situation was with the trooper. So I think it's very important that she broke the exact law she...
And you've asked, and it's been answered.
But she hasn't answered it. Did you in fact disobey a police officer by not using your...
The objection was sustained.
I don't even know what sustain means. Can you explain that?
So
That
when
means
you
it sticks or it doesn't.
when you
Or do you
represent
want-
yourself, you have to know what you're doing in the courtroom. I can't explain.
It's sustained, but how many troopers were at that intersection?
I would say approximately, well, they were kind of all spread out. We had one that was one or two potentially over by the railroad area, along with, I think, DOT or maybe county workers. We had one or two that were on break, and probably at least 4 probably in that intersection area directly.
Did you have any special uniform that would have made you the top director, or how was I to know to follow your directions rather than one of the other 7 people? It sounds like there was up to 7 people giving directions. Did you have some sort of identification that your directions were overriding everybody else's directions? Were you the top director of this intersection?
I was not the top director. I was wearing my issued Class A uniform. The only thing different is I'm wearing long sleeves now because we're in our winter uniform. I was wearing short sleeve uniform and had my safety vest on, and I was on that side of the intersection directing to traffic. And when it was time to either allow the bikes to move across to the northeast, or we allow the bikes, then we would communicate with the other troopers that were on the other side of the intersection.
So if another trooper told me to go straight, stay to the right, but you said to turn right, who should have I listened to?
Well, I made eye contact with you and directed you as I'm pointing to you as you were approaching my location, and I directed you to pull off to the side to the south, to your right.
And have you ever drove a bus?
No.
No. And you claim you wanted me to turn right onto a gravel road. Was that gravel road empty where there was plenty of room to park a bus, or was there numerous vehicles parked there where there was no room to park a bus?
There was other patrol vehicles there. Most of them were pickup trucks because that's what were issued. I didn't need you to actually either turn to the right. I just need you to pull off just right at that intersection to either allow you to maneuver for your bus, or potentially, if we agreed, to have you turn south on there. All I need you to do was just pull off to the side so I can talk to you.
And was the shoulder wide enough for a bus to completely pull off and not obstruct traffic?
Yes.
So when I pulled up and started to open my window and you told me to go, why didn't you give me those instructions then?
I didn't tell you to go.
You made eye contact and expected me to understand what your eye contact meant.
I pointed to you and made eye contact, we were looking, so you knew that I was trying to talk to you, and I motioned for you to pull off to the side.
I was also driving a bus in a very complicated intersection with multiple blind spots. I knew you wanted my attention, and we made that eye contact. But what you wanted to do was not clear at all. And no, there was not room to pull the bus off to the side, and that's where the video is important. Okay. So you had no special uniform to say you were superior over such as Trooper Marlowe if he told me to go straight?
We don't have special uniforms based off rank. We all wear the same uniform. If there's special ranks, then they have special, like a sergeant stripes type thing on their collars, or lieutenant will wear, the things on their collars. But everybody wears the same uniform.
So nothing special. If 2 troopers give me 2 different answers, how am I supposed to know who to listen to?
You are directed to listen to me.
How?
I just told you, sir.
You made eye contact?
And I pointed to you, and I motioned to you where to pull off to the side.
So if in fact you did indicate for me to turn, did you analyze where the bus should park? Several vehicles parked at the corner, and And not enough shoulder
Objection.
to pull off.
He's testifying, Your Honor.
You
Did
need
you
to ask,
analyze,
no,
did you analyze?
there's
the
an
area?
objection, so you need to stop.
All right.
Ask a question, you're testifying again.
Okay, if in fact you did ask me to turn, what would have been the purpose for me to pull over?
I want you to pull off to the side so I can communicate with you to remind you that you are actually on the Ragbri route. You are not supposed to be on that route. You were supposed to be on the support route. All I wanted to do was let you know that you were not supposed to be there and either direct you to either turn to the south of the gravel or potentially turn around and go back where you came from.
Now, when you say I wasn't supposed to be there, is there any law saying I'm not supposed to be there? Or it just makes things more smoother operation? There's a difference between breaking a law and it's not as smooth of an operation.
When your RAGBRAI team or any RAGBRAI people that sign up with RAGBRAI, they are given the instructions before the RAGBRAI week begins. And you are instructed to make sure that you follow by what your rules are.
But nothing illegal.
What was, you didn't follow the support route that you were supposed to be on.
For convenience, but nothing illegal. I am free to travel. RAGBRAI could kick me off. I'm not driving again, period. But nothing I did was illegal, correct?
We are here to enforce the rules for RAGBRAI. If you're not supposed to be on that bicycle route, we have an obligation to make sure that you are not on there because it's for the safety of the bicycle riders. You have a designated route that has already been given to you and your team, along with all the other teams, of what your route is to stay off the main route.
Crossing the main route, though, there's no law. It's just the RAGBRAI rule, correct?
And the law that you broke is you failed to stop when I told you to, and you continued on.
In what event should law enforcement engage in a high-speed chase?
When should I engage in a high-speed chase?
Yes.
I wasn't pursuing you. There was no chase.
There was a chase. That's what the video's for.
I didn't chase you.
Did vehicles have to pull off the road for you to catch up to me?
But we weren't actually in a pursuit. That means that a pursuit means that you are fleeing away from me and you don't want to stop. I was trying to catch up to you because there's a lot of side roads that anybody can use to flee a police officer. So in order for me to stop you in a timely manner, other cars are obligated, if I have my emergency lights on, to move out of the way.
So to stop me in a timely manner for no crime committed, correct?
You failed to stop and to failure to comply to my order as I was directing traffic.
How fast do you think you had to go to catch up to me?
I have no idea.
Is it state policy, is it proper state policy to chase somebody with a victimless crime?
As in, what are you saying, victimless?
There was no victim.
You were the violator, so you violated and did failure to comply to my order for you to stop, so I had to continue and to stop you, so we can address the issue.
And how far would you say it was up the road before I pulled over?
Quite a ways. Longer than that.
Longer than that?
Mhm.
How long would you say?
It was more than 2 miles, I can tell you that.
Okay, so if you caught up with me in a minute, your average speed would have to be 120 miles an hour. I would call that a high-speed chase. We have the video with the times. And you're saying it was 2 miles, to travel 2 miles in 1 minute's time, you'd have been going 120 miles an hour, if my figures are correct.
I don't know how fast I was going.
120 miles an hour for victimless crime is reckless driving.
Your Honor calls for a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
Now, what was the purpose of the red bright decal on the windshield?
That is to give you your privileges and where you can park and have any privileges that the RAGBRAI week is allowed to give you,
And why would you ask where mine was at?
because I was going to remove that sticker.
And did you remove that sticker?
I did.
For what reason?
Because of everything of how it continued on for that time.
Because of what?
Because of how everything, you were on the RAGBRAI route. You as a driver are obligated to know what that route is along with the support route. You were on the bicycle route, the rider route. You failed to comply to my lawful order to stop. You continued. I took the sticker.
So you took personal property that did not belong to you or the state, correct?
RAGBRAI issues that, and we have the enforcement to do that because it's an event and we are here to provide the traffic safety of the event.
Can you provide that information? Because I feel that is theft, taking the sticker, but you do admit you took the decal from our bus.
I wouldn't consider that theft.
If we paid for the sticker and it goes in our bus, what would you consider that?
I guess I still wouldn't consider that theft.
If I bought something and I own it, and you take it with no legal grounds to take it, what would you call that?
It's enforcing the RAGBRAI rules.
It's theft. But you do admit you took the RAGBRAI decal?
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
And the answer
Sustained.
was yes? Okay. If you felt a crime was committed, why did you not activate your body cam?
I wasn't wearing it that day.
You weren't wearing it at all.
I've already answered that, sir.
You didn't say you weren't wearing it at all. You said you didn't have it on for our incident.
And I didn't have it on. Meaning I wasn't wearing it either.
You did not even wear the
Correct.
equipment. Okay. The policy does require you to wear it, correct?
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
Sustained.
What is the highway patrol policy if a vehicle pulls over in a spot that is unsafe to park?
I don't know what that would be right offhand. Obviously, when we stop people, we have to take an effect of everybody's safety on the roadway.
Yes, so stopping me where I didn't have enough room to pull completely off the road in a no passing zone, would it have made more sense to have me pull ahead to a safe spot or force every vehicle to pass unsafely in a no passing zone?
I don't remember if it was a no passing zone or not. Considering the circumstance of what was going on, I needed to stop your bus at that time.
Still watch this on my computer if we want, but I think we've covered quite a bit of examples why this video is exemplary evidence. When you came up to the left hand or right hand side of my bus, passenger side of the bus, how did we communicate? Did I roll the window down for you?
No, because the door had to open. The door opened.
The door opened?
Mhm.
And then you stood in the ditch and talked to me?
I think when I introduced myself right at the side of the door, we were just outside, and then I stood in the stairwell of your bus the entire time.
So you entered private property without permission, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, I believe that's a misstatement of the facts.
You entered private property without permission is not a fact? I'm asking yes or no. We're looking for an answer.
I'm not here to argue with you, sir.
Well, you just brought it up that it's not an important fact. To me, that is a very important fact when we're trying to look at credibility as me as supposedly the criminal compared to the credibility of somebody who has broke numerous laws so far and no proof whatsoever I broke anything. Did you enter the vehicle?
I stood just inside the stairwell of your bus.
So inside the vehicle?
Yes.
Yes. Did you have permission to come inside the vehicle?
I don't remember if I asked for your permission or not.
What is the law to enter somebody's private property?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
We had to extend this court date on 2 different accounts. Did you or did you not tell Kevin there was no dash cam either?
Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant to what we're here to decide today.
Sustained.
We're establishing credibility. If
I sustain the objection. Move on.
so, the reason you pulled me over is because you wanted to give me some helpful, handy tips on life events, but no crime was committed, correct?
I wasn't there to talk about life events. All I needed to do was just to pull off to the side of the road, talk to you that you were on the Ragbri route, the bicycle rider route, and ask you to either, my goal was to either to ask you to turn around or to turn south on the gravel road to get you off the route.
At that point, I wouldn't have been on the route. I already crossed the route at that point. Turning around would send me back into the route.
You were on the route when you approached my location.
Were bicycles and vehicles sharing the same roadway at some point?
You were the bus that was on part of the Ragbri team, a Ragbri team, and you are supposed to be on the support route that is issued to the teams for buses.
Supposed to be. But my question was there section where buses, cars, vehicles, semis, tractors would have been mixed with bicycles on the same road?
There was regular vehicles that were there. Those were the locals that were trying to get from town to town. We're going to have that situation because of the locals that live in the nearby towns are trying to get to work.
They have a right to drive where they want to, correct?
Your bus and part of the Ragbri week are issued by the Ragbri team that you are supposed to be on a specific route to stay off the rider's route.
Off the rider's route, I was on the traffic route. That is the point I'm trying to make. I was on the traffic route. Yes, vehicles and bikes were sharing the same section of road. That was my simple question. Were vehicles and bikes sharing that same section of road?
You were a bus, part of a team for Ragbri, and you were supposed to be on the support route. All riders, even if you switch during the week, when you sign up for Ragbri, you agree to that situation that you are designated to be on a particular route, not on the rider's route.
You still haven't answered the question. Were vehicles and bikes sharing the same section of road?
I have already shared that or answered that question for you, sir.
You answered I was driving the bus. Did vehicles and bicycles have to share the same section of road there?
And I've answered that saying that those are the local people that live in those towns that go from town to town that they live in, or if they're going to work.
So yes, vehicles and bicycles were sharing the same section of road.
Correct.
Okay. Why were you not wearing your body cam that day?
Objection asked and answered. We've gone through this.
No. I asked
Sustained.
why it wasn't on,
And she's answered.
but she hasn't answered why she didn't have it on her.
Your
The
Honor, I
objection
believe that was-
sustained.
Okay. So as of so far, you wanted to give me some advice, helpful, possibly handy tips in life, is the reason you want me to pull over.
I was not there to offer you any handy or life events advice. I just wanted you to stop, remind you that you were on the bicycle route, and get you on the support route.
But as with regular traffic, correct?
Sir, I've already answered that.
So no law was actually broke.
You were on the rider's route that you were not supposed to be on, and the law that was broken is you failed to comply to my order as I was directing traffic, and you continued to go eastbound on Highway 9.
And at what point will I actually get my turn to testify?
Objection, I don't think that's a proper question for the witness.
Well, I'm out of...
Are you done asking questions, sir?
I believe so for Trooper. We agree no law was broke, or there's no reason to pull over.
Mr. Mon, do you have any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
You may step down.
No further evidence on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Boussard, this is your opportunity to testify. I do want to talk about this video, though.
Yes.
If you're offering it into evidence, do you have a thumb drive that you're going to give to me? Because if it's being offered for evidence, that's what I would need.
There is a link, and Kevin has that link.
That's not, I can't accept evidence that way.
You can't accept a link for evidence?
No. I need something tangible. It would have to be on a thumb drive.
Okay, well, let's watch the video, I guess. Are we ready to watch the video?
Your Honor, if he doesn't have it to present, I would object to watching this video at this point, because we're watching something that there's no way to have a record of to know what's being presented.
That's correct. I'm not going to watch a video that can't be considered as evidence, sir.
There's multiple ways. He has it in his computer. He's admitted he's had it in his computer. I've got it on my computer. We can watch it. It's not playing on the TV.
I would need it saved to a drive that I could keep for a record.
Why can't a link be saved to the record? That's how it was sent to me, just a link. Why can't that be?
That's not an option. It would need to have to be on an actual disk or drive or something that would be saved for purposes of creating a record.
So exemplary evidence is getting denied because...
Now is your opportunity to testify.
Are we not even going to watch the...
I'm not going to watch a video if I can't consider it as evidence.
If I turn my computer over, what is that? evidence?
You're gonna give the court your computer?
Considering it, yes. I can request my evidence back after the court's done with it, correct?
No,
Evidence doesn't get held forever.
it's kept for record purposes, so it would be held forever.
And can I provide a thumb drive to the courts after the court?
No, today's the date of the trial. Today's the day.
So I'd have to leave the computer, which the computer's, it's getting shut off anyway. It's the old model, and they don't support it, so I'm considering whether to donate the computer. So the court is refusing to take a link
Yes.
for proof, but that's how it was provided to me, was a link.
And that's not how the court accepts evidence.
But I am supposed to accept it that way?
Sir, if you want to testify, now would be the
Well,
time.
there's a lot of stuff I want to testify, but it relates to the video. Because we're trying to figure out my credibility compared to the trooper's credibility. I'm showing trooper has zero credibility, and the trooper did, in fact. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and testify.
Okay, I need you to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
You may proceed.
Yeah, we are looking at my credibility compared to the state's credibility. At this point, I have shown several cases where the state's credibility is very thin. I can't show anything to prove what I've done was correct, other than I provided what my view is from the seat of the bus. There are numerous blind spots, so unless she was standing directly in front of the bus, for me to understand what her direction would be, it very easily missed in blind spots. You have a bend in the windshield, which is a brake. Did you get a copy of that yet?
Yes, but these are not exhibits because they haven't been marked as exhibits.
Okay, and then you have the driver's post, and then you have the rear view mirror. So approximately 45 degrees of your view until she gets to the side window. There is no way that you can say that that was a clear view of me, other than, yes, we did make eye contact. There is no way that eye contact can tell me the difference between stay to the left, turn left. And once again, basing on credibility, we've had to extend this court case twice because the troopers said there is no video. That is withholding evidence from the courts, which is a Brady violation and against the law. The trooper said there is no video. There obviously is, because I have it here. And Kevin has one also. So she violated. She withheld evidence that was important to court. We've had to extend it twice because of that. That should show a lot of lack of credibility on the trooper's part. Withholding evidence is contempt of court, and we've had to extend it twice. It is a Brady violation. To catch me, I rode through the intersection after she told me to go. In less than a minute's time, 13 vehicles had to leave the roadway on a shoulder that was not wide enough for a vehicle to pull over, couldn't be completely off the road. These vehicles, if they were to hit a rock or a hole, would have caused the vehicles to go into the ditch or overcompensate into a head-on high-speed collision. That is reckless driving committed by the trooper. The trooper pulled me over in a no passing zone. The bus, again, still did not have room to be completely off the roadway. So it forced every vehicle during the pass to pass illegally and put the entire, everybody coming in both directions in danger. That is reckless endangerment, which is also potential felony. Theft of the rag decal. Nothing legally to do with the stop, just wanted to cause major problems for the team. She could not tell what her legal reason was for taking a sticker that we paid for. So that is theft, another crime committed by Trooper 177. Unlawful entry of a vehicle, trespassing. Refusing to wear the body cam. Iowa Code 321, 229, obedience to a peace officer. Trooper 177 did fail to listen to her supervisor, police officers. She did, in fact, fail and committed the exact crime she's accusing me of. The only difference is hers is proven and she's accusing me of it. Trooper 177 also did not use her microphone, which is attached to the...
Your Honor, I would object to this. This isn't testimony, this is argument.
This is credibility.
This is argument, this isn't testimony. If he wants to testify about what happened, that's fine, but for him to continue to go on speech about all the evidence, that's argument and shouldn't be admissible at this point.
You need to testify as to the facts of the case, not just your argument about...
Argument that a police officer should know the law and should follow the law. And in several instances, we listen to all of her experience requirements. We listen to how qualified she is, all the training she received. She should know these laws and she should not be breaking these laws. We have
You need to testify as to the facts that occurred that day.
Okay, so that day we have several serious misdemeanors and a few felonies that Trooper 177 committed over trying to provide me with helpful handy tips in life, but nothing to do with anything legal. If two troopers give different directions and there's no way to follow both directions and you can write a ticket for it, I don't see how that would fit any crime other than extortion, which is a Class D felony. There were 5 troopers at this intersection. If 4 told me to go straight and 1 told me to turn, I could listen to 80% of them, or I could listen to 20% of them and get 5 tickets from the other 4 tickets from the other 4. I followed the common flow traffic, which is what you're normally told to do, and I followed directions of 4 other troopers. If 2 troopers give you 2 different answers, you got to follow one or the other. I just can't teleport myself out of the situation. I was there, but no law was broke. That is extortion, and that is a Class D felony. So Trooper 177 has committed numerous misdemeanors: reckless driving, theft, extortion, careless driving, obedience to a police officer twice. So I think the courts would have no choice but to give very little credibility to anything Trooper 177 testified, and what Trooper 177 did testify is there was no crime made, other than I seen her eyes and was supposed to know what she wanted me to do. felonies are very important, very critical crimes. And when they're committed by law enforcement, they should be held
Objection,
responsible.
Your Honor. This continues to be argument. We're not here to determine whether or not the trooper committed any crimes. We're here to decide whether or not Mr. Lussart failed to obey the statute.
Mr. Lussart,
When a
the
police
objection is sustained. You need to move on and only speak to things that occurred that day and not comment on,
All these crimes did occur that day, ma'am, I'm not,
and you've made that statement.
okay.
Move on.
When a police officer withholds evidence that is favorable to the criminal defendant, it is a serious violation of the defendant's constitutional right to a fair trial, known as a Brady violation. Refusing to send Kevin,
Mr. Lussart, you've already testified to these things. They are argument. They're not testimony.
you would disagree they're impeachment evidence, information that could undermine the credibility of the government witness.
And you had the opportunity to ask the trooper about those things, which you did.
Well, the facts given today are, I did not break any crimes. Trooper 177 has committed several serious misdemeanors and a couple felonies and needs to be held responsible for those crimes. And that's what we've learned today.
Are you finished?
No, Trooper Yenniff also said she came up yelling at me, which I agree, she did come up yelling at me. And then she stated that she said we should calm down and have a cordial conversation. I was cordial the entire time. And maybe you don't feel what I'm doing now is cordial. I do. I've never raised my voice. I've been very to the point. But that's, just because it isn't what she wants to hear doesn't mean I'm not being cordial. So I was upset with the situation, as I should be, because I had to take 6 hours out of my life to drive here or be charged with a crime I did not commit. So I put it on the reg right page. Has anybody else had a problem with this trooper? Because I find it very odd the way I was treated and there was no law broke. So we've got an anonymous participant entitled to travel a public road while feeling safe and secure.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't know what he's reading from, but it appears to be hearsay. I don't know who's making these statements.
It is hearsay. The objection sustained.
So no comments are going to be accepted by the state, but the state has provided absolutely zero fact that any crime was committed, correct?
I'm not answering your question, sir. This is your time to testify. Are you done testifying?
But I can't read these statements.
No, you may not. They're hearsay.
I guess that's all I have.
Is there anything further on behalf of either party?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lussart?
I would like to call Trooper Marlowe to testify, or to question for a witness.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank you, Trooper Marlowe, for coming all this way. If Trooper 177 followed the law, you wouldn't have to be here. We'd have that evidence. But you were the assisting trooper to the stop, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And when you pulled up, were you traveling exactly with her, or when did you get involved with the stop?
So on that particular day, I also was assigned to RAGBRAI, a detail I've been involved with since 2007, except for the COVID year when they didn't have RAGBRAI. I was the rover for that particular assignment, and the rover basically provides breaks and release for troopers that are assigned to specific intersections. They can be long days. The RAGBRAI route is open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's 12 hours, so they could be there an hour and a half early, and potentially, depending on volumes of traffic, even longer. So the rover basically just bounces around on the route, and then covers some occasional issues that, even though great detail goes into planning, just happen to pop up. And one of those areas was east of Superior, where the bicycles left the route. There's a set of railroad tracks on a county road. Forgive me, I don't know what that county road is, but it's Highway 9 east of Superior, and those tracks ran at an angle, and we had far too many bicycles that were, falling in an attempt to get across those tracks. So we provided some extra coverage, myself included, in that particular area for that reason.
So there were numerous troopers at the intersection directing traffic?
Yes.
Yes. Were you at the intersection directing traffic when I came through?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Did you see anything that I did wrong?
Well, I would not have been in a great position to see traffic that was approaching from the west headed east. I was on the opposite side of the intersection, providing coverage for vehicular traffic that would have been going westbound. So my job is to stand in the middle of the road, wave my arms, and make sure cars stop before the bicycles turn directly left in front of them. So the majority of the time in that particular role, your back is turned. You're obviously watching for approaching vehicles that are coming at that particular time. So I did not initially see your vehicle, but I wouldn't have been able to see any other vehicles either.
And I agree, it was a strange intersection, but there were troopers like I would say half mile to a mile up the road where the bicycles and traffic merged into one lane. And then where I was stopped was where they were separating the traffic and the bicycles. Were you where they were separating or where they were merging?
I would have been farther east.
North, south, east,
Yeah,
west.
so as the bicycles left Superior, headed east on Highway 9, then the bicycles would have made that left turn. I would have been another 60 to 70 feet east of that in an effort to stop the cars while the bicycles made a left-hand turn, if that makes sense.
There was a section where we plane had to share the same roadway, correct?
That's correct. That would have been farther to the west of where I would have been. But I had been on that road prior because of a rover assignment. So I'm familiar with what you're describing there.
From where I was stopped at, if I would have turned around, I would actually went back into the traffic where the bicycles and buses and traffic were merging, correct? Where I was pulled over was where we separated bicycles and vehicles. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And again, there's, the roads for RAGBRAI in the vast majority of situations, including in that particular area, are open for vehicular traffic. People live on those roads. We have U.S. mail carriers. We have Amazon, FedEx, everybody else that is using those roads. But there is some understanding as it relates to RAGBRAI vehicles and the efforts that go forth to create their own support route. And it basically allows that 1 week of 10 to 20,000 bicycles to get from the west side of the state to the east side with very limited and hopefully none or no interaction.
And again, I thank you. I think it's a wonderful event. People around they fly in, even not from the United States. It's an excellent opportunity for a lot of people, and I thank you for that. But from the legal point of view, there was no legal reason I should not have been on that roadway.
I think you would look at the RAGBRAI policy. You're not going to find it in the 321, the Code of Iowa section that primarily deals with traffic law enforcement. but there's some policies in place for that particular event that separates the bicycle route and the support route.
Correct. Which one of our team members is actually, at one time he was considered an American hero. He was a United States bobsledding champion for the Olympics. He was on our
Objection,
team.
Your Honor.
Well,
It's
he's
not a
been-
question, it's not his time to testify. I understand
Okay.
he's proud of this person, and I'm not diminishing this person, but this is not the time for him to testify.
Sustained.
If somebody on our team was disabled and possibly needed medical attention on the bus, would Red Bryce would Red Bryce deny this person his medical attention if I was bringing medical supplies for a disabled participant on my team?
Objection calls for speculation and assumes facts that aren't in evidence.
Sustained.
So, no laws were broken, but I went against what Red Bryce would prefer. I guess is where we've been. I didn't subpoena all the troopers. I subpoenaed you for the reason you assisted the stop when we were pulled over. But you do agree it'd been very easy for me to follow directions of one of the 4 troopers that said, stay to the right, come forward, rather than turn right, come forward. I don't know how you would distinct that as a trooper, stay to the right, come forward, which is what everybody did, but I was supposed to turn to the right and come forward.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in a position to answer that based on the fact that I wasn't on that side of the intersection, nor did we have any interaction at the intersection. Our
But
other conversation was...
There were several troopers directing traffic at the exit.
There were multiple troopers at that particular intersection for the reasons that I explained earlier.
And the reason so I very easily could have followed the directions of a trooper that said to go through the intersection.
Yeah, I don't know that I can, in a position to answer that.
You didn't tell me to turn.
That's correct, I did not.
And have you drove a bus, trooper?
I have not.
Are you aware of the blind spots of a bus?
I think you could say that about multiple vehicles on the roadway, yes. So I'm sure there are quote-unquote blind spots or areas that would be more difficult to see.
You got a post, you got a bend in the windshield, you've got a rear view mirror, another post, your first. Could you see where it'd be very easy to miss directions from one trooper or another while you're trying to be safe?
Objection
Make sure
calls
you
for
don't collide with a
speculation.
bicycle or a vehicle.
Overruled.
What was overruled?
He can answer the question.
He can answer the question. Okay.
Again, I think it's fair to say that any vehicle on the roadway has certain areas that create potential visibility issues.
And it'd be very easy to see where this bus had numerous ones.
Again, without any experience driving the bus, I assume it's pretty similar to vehicles that I have driven.
Okay. Without driving my bus, you'd agree it'd be very easy to see one trooper and not see another trooper.
I would like to think that we do everything we can as an agency to be visible, from the presence of fully marked patrol cars to the lighting equipment that is greater than ever before, especially when I started my career nearly 30 years ago. Reflective vests and first responders that are required to wear those make it, under most circumstances, pretty obvious that somebody's out there doing something. And on that day in question, I think visibility would not have been a factor as it relates to weather, pretty flat stretch of road there.
Not whether, no. From the highway patrol policy, whether there was a crime broke or not, would you pull a vehicle over in a no passing zone?
I have been certainly put in situations where the
Yeah.
geography is not ideal, right? I would like everything to be in a situation that it doesn't involve other traffic, but you do everything you can to prevent some of those things, but it does happen for sure.
And do you recall, was there enough room for the bus to pull completely off the road? I know the facts, the video shows the facts, but
Again, you're talking about
my stop.
at the intersection versus,
Where I was
the
pulled
traffic
over,
stop.
where you first encountered me.
I know there was a gravel road that went to the south there. You're talking about after you've been pulled over.
After I've been pulled over.
Yeah, again, that's a roadway that would have limited shoulders.
No way a bus could pull completely off.
I don't know that you would be able to remove the bus completely from the travel portion.
Without tipping over into the ditch.
Yeah, again, I've never driven one, but yeah, there wouldn't be a full shoulder on Highway 9 that you may see, for instance, on a divided 4-lane or an interstate system, for instance.
If you had your emergency lights on, the vehicle you were pursuing stopped in a no passing zone, caused an extremely dangerous situation, would you recommend, unless it was a serious crime, would you recommend the driver pull ahead until there was a safe place?
I've probably done that in my career either way. I'm a little bit more familiar with some of the areas that I work traffic enforcement in. So there's some advantages of having that experience to know when to turn the lights on and maybe when not to. I don't know that I would have that expertise across the entire state of Iowa. So sometimes you got to play the cards you're dealt with. And if in fact that's the area, you've got to conduct business to the safest for not only the violator or the person you're stopping, certainly the approaching motor vehicles in either direction or in multiple directions, as well as yourself.
So you'd agree pulling ahead to a safer spot would make more sense than public endangerment and stopping the entire roadway for 20 minutes, whatever time it took to write the ticket?
I think it's fair to say that I've directed people to pull ahead after my direction, but I've told them that. I don't know that they have taken that upon themselves to take off and find a better spot.
Well, no, I would have been eluding if I would have done that. What I'm saying is, I was put in a safety situation myself, along with all the other traffic, when I'm in a no passing zone and my bus is halfway in the roadway.
Yeah, again, it wasn't the best spot, but it was the spot that was, chosen by Trooper Yanoff at that time. She made that stop before I did. I wasn't there initially.
According to Trooper Yanoff, there was yelling going on. Did you witness any yelling from me?
I did not.
Was I anything but cordial to you or Trooper Yanoff?
You were not.
Was I actually polite?
Yes.
Did I question you why the trooper would steal my reg ride decal?
I think we talked about that as it related to the support vehicle.
Correct.
And again, I know there has been times that those have been removed from support vehicles, not only in 2025, but years prior.
But if I bought it, you would agree that it is my property, correct?
Yeah, I don't know that I can answer that question.
Fair enough. I apologize for having to bring you in. If Trooper 177 would have followed the law, we would have had it all on body cam. But I thank you I'm trying to prove to the courts that I'm respectable, I'm honest, I'm cordial. Trooper Yanoff, in your time working that intersection, did you hear a lot of yelling from Trooper Yanoff, not only at me, but other drivers?
Now, I don't know that there's yelling. Certainly there's directions given to motorists as well as bicyclists that do require you to use an outdoor voice, or in my case, sometimes a parenting voice. And that's designed, again, to put the users of that roadway, no matter who they are, in the safest environment possible.
Correct. Correct. can never drove a bus, the noises of a bus, you agree numerous vehicles have air conditioners running, generators running, diesel motors running. In my bus, the motor's right next to me. It would be very acceptable for me to not be able to understand. I could hear yelling, but I could not understand what the directions were. Would you agree that's a reasonable?
Again, I've not been on your bus or others, so I'm not sure what the noise level would be from the interior.
You do agree, diesel engine sitting right next to you, a generator on top, it would be very easy to not be able to understand the orders from the trooper.
I think it'd be possible.
Okay. Then probable to not understand. Should a citizen be able to understand directions by eye contact?
I think there'd have to be audible directions following the initial eye contact.
Because the initial yelling from Trooper Yeniff said, we made eye contact, you knew what I wanted. And I wasn't, she said I made a smart aleck comment. I said, I can't hear your eyes. And I still, well, actually the law states that I willingly did not listen, or I have to find the exact law. I did not willingly, if I don't know what she wanted, it's impossible to do something willingly if you don't know what it is. You agree with that?
Yeah, again, I wasn't on that side of the intersection, so I'm unable to testify about the initial interaction that occurred.
No, I'm just trying to understand the law for sure. No person shall willfully fail or refuse to comply. To willfully do something or refuse, you would have to know for sure what you were supposed to do.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for a legal conclusion. This witness isn't qualified to answer.
Sustained.
To willfully do something, you have to knowingly do something. You have to know you did it, correct?
Sustained means you can't ask about it.
Okay. Once again, I thank you for coming. I thank you for agreeing that the noise could have definitely made it where I didn't willfully know what she wanted. There was plenty of blind stops where I didn't willfully know what she wanted. I pulled up next to her when she's next to me. I went to open the windows. You weren't there for that, but I was told to go. She don't admit she said go, go, go. She admitted she said go. So from the events presented, I committed zero crime, and it'd be physically impossible to prove I willfully did anything.
Are you done questioning this witness?
Yes, thank you again, Trooper Marlowe, and it's a great experience for everybody at Reg Brad. I won't see you next year. I'm done. I won't be extorted again next year.
Mr. Mon, do you have any questions for this witness?
Briefly, Your Honor. Trooper Marlowe, you didn't observe the initial interaction, correct?
I did not.
Okay. And at what point did you enter to the situation? Or
Yeah, I would say a few minutes went by, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. And as a rover that day, I was able to have one of the other troopers take my spot from traffic control. And I basically just went up there to check on the situation. Nothing, no one called me. There was nothing that, I didn't have the little hair I have on my head stand up that made me thought anything was wrong. It's just a common courtesy. I was available to assist if needed.
so you came up on the vehicles that were stopped?
Yes,
Did you have body cam on that day?
I did have it on, but it was not activated.
Okay. Can you tell me why it wasn't activated?
Yeah, there's situations on the state patrol, as well as I'm sure other law enforcement, but this is the only agency that I've worked for, where we don't record 100% of the things. And one of those is traffic control, long times where you're just monitoring traffic. I think about other assignments as you're patrolling the grounds at the state fair, you're not actively recording people. We're in my district assigned to University of Iowa football games, similar things. So there are times, even though we're wearing our body camera, it's not active. We rely primarily on that patrol vehicle's ability to record things in traffic stop situations.
To support that, can I add anything? Because,
It's not your turn right now.
okay,
Okay, you mentioned the patrol vehicle, and can you tell how that records
Sure.
direction?
Sure. So the patrol vehicle that I'm now assigned has multiple cameras. There's a camera that faces the direction that the vehicle is traveling, has an interior camera that would record myself as a driver as well as potentially anybody in the front seat. I have a quad cab pickup truck, so it also could record those in the back seat. And then there's actually a camera on the rear window that records approaching vehicles in the same direction.
And as far as sound, does that, any of those record also sound?
Yeah, there'd be an audio recording device on the interior of that vehicle.
What about the dash cam? Does that record sound?
That would record sound on the interior of that vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no exterior recording of the interaction with the person?
The body cam would record that, as well as there is an audible device that we had in our old system that we used to wear. But with the body cams, that's not required anymore.
So if the body cam was off, there wouldn't be any audio of the interaction between, say, yourself and a driver that you pulled over?
That is correct.
And while you were present, did you observe any interactions between Trooper Yanov and the defendant?
Yes.
And were those interactions civil, or what were those interactions?
Neither one of them could have been more professional.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. LeSueur, do you have any additional questions for this witness?
yes, according to Highway Patrol policy, you are to wear body cam when interacting with the suspect, I should say. We can read the whole, I provided you, I think, with the whole policy. You're correct, you did not need your body cam on, you were not the arresting officer in this. But it specifically states that there is a wireless mic that should be attached to the onboard camera, so when he asked if the dash cam would have audio, if she was properly, if she's properly functioning with the external mic, not the body cam mic, but the external mic for the ICB, and mandatory recordings of following situations: vehicle pedestrian and investigative stops. Obviously, that was a mandatory recording on her part since she was the arresting officer. Now, for you, you would have been an officer when it's not mandatory. It's optional or up to the trooper's discretion when an officer is on the scene in a non-investigative role,
I would
such
object to
as
this.
scenery.
Mr. LeSueur,
I would object to this as not being a question. I don't know what he's testifying to. I don't know whether this is accurate.
if you have a question, go ahead and ask it, but you can't just read from.
Okay. What I was reading was you were not required because you were not the arresting officer. This is the Highway Patrol's body cam and dash cam policy. What I was reading, did it sound? I'm saying you did not have to have yours on because you were not the lead investigator, but Trooper Yanov 100% should have her body cam on and recording, correct?
You can go ahead
Can I
and
answer that?
answer, yes.
Yeah, I was not required to have mine on in that situation.
But Trooper Enough was.
According to policy, yes.
Yes. And you understand the rules and policies of body worn cam, correct?
I think I understand most of them.
So all troopers should know the laws and rules of body worn cams.
We are obligated by policies for multiple things,
Thank you.
including body cams.
But no, the whole purpose for reading that was you were not required to have your body cam on, but mandatory she was. And that is clearly spelled out in the Iowa Highway Public Safety Identifier 45-03-02.
Do you have any further questions?
No, Your Honor.
You are excused.
You're not going to use this?
Hmm?
You're not going to use this?
I'm not,
Gonna have
that's
to-
your, sure.
Maybe I can just see that later, but
Anything further?
there we covered a person would have to know for sure what the trooper wanted me to do to willfully not do it. And like I said, I didn't know, and there's no way to prove that I did know. There was numerous blind spots, there was noise, there was a lot of confusion at the intersection, there were bikes mixed with vehicles. I had to watch vehicles in front of me, bicycles.
Do you have any additional evidence to present?
That's testimony. Is testimony different than evidence?
You already testified.
Okay. And you did receive a copy of the evidence of the policies for
Yes.
body cam?
These are not marked as exhibits, so I'm not going to be able to consider these.
Well, then there's only one exhibit, and that's this one. Exhibit 1. I'll take the rest. But it is law that they have their body cam on and trooper.
I don't know which one you're referring to because they're not marked.
Iowa Department of Public Safety. It's got a number 1 on the bottom section, and it's got the Iowa badge.
Do you have any objection to the admission of exhibit? Actually, it'd be 101 as a defendant.
Your Honor, I don't have any objection to probably its authenticity, but I would object to its relevance to the issue at hand here.
I'll admit exhibit 101.
The policy would not be relevant? Is that what I understood?
Your exhibit's admitted.
You're right. But his statement was, this is not relevant. I think it's very relevant.
I've ruled on it, so
Okay.
it's admitted.
All right. I just got my time in it, and I want to make sure what you're going to accept, that we have all that.
I am prepared to make a ruling. I am going to find you guilty of failure to comply with an order of a peace officer and institute the scheduled fine of $135 plus surcharge and court costs. We're adjourned. There'll be a written order following.
All right.